Hello class. I'm going to do a small review on how to do SSAS package, analysis package, and our case study 2. So our case study 2 is asking us to create a SSIS project called Web Cells. We are supposed to use AdventureWorks DW 2012. Report, let's go take this part out. And we are creating a multidimensional web cells cube. And then with the Excel, we're going to create a report for the total product cost, unit price, sales amount based on customers, gender, and marital status. All right. Use rows and columns and use pivot charts. So let's remember how to do this. So we're going to go and open our AdventureWorks data tools. Not AdventureWorks, the MS SQL Server, MS SQL Server, let me see. MS SQL Server 2012, and we're going to use the SQL Server data tools. All right, there you go. So here I'm going to go file, new project. And now I want to create analysis. So not integration, analysis. The name of your project is Web Cells. Web Cells. That's the name of my project. And in here in the location you have where your package is going to be saved. If you don't want to be saved in the defaults, just find another folder that you can save this. So the option that I picked, it was the first one. Analysis, service multidimensional, and data mining. All right. So I'm going to say okay. So the first thing that I need to do here, let's see if I can clean my screen a little bit so you guys can see. This is the property window here, and the solutions bar. So you have to have the solution explorer, the properties, and the SS. Oh no, I don't need the SSIS tools open. Yes, I do need it. I just go view and I select toolbox. That was not the toolbox, was it? Toolbox. I need, yeah, the SSIS toolbox, but I don't see it here. Task view, other windows. Okay, let's see. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to add a connection. So just like we use it in with the data tools to do the integration, here we're going to go our project. You have a folder called data source. So we need to add a new connection because we need to add a connection to the database. Right? I'm going to put here in the middle, and I'm going to add a connection to my AdventureWorks DW. I'm going to open this. Delete, because I need to add a new. I had an old connection to the food inspection. Now I need to add a new connection, connect to the server, and that takes time, unfortunately. Let's see. No, not yet. There you go. I have my server connection, and here, what I'm gonna pick is AdventureWorks. Excuse me, AdventureWorks DW. So that's what I've been working. I'm working with the data warehouse. Forget about ETL. That's a pass. Now we are working with the data that already has been extracted from a load to our data warehouse. Okay, so okay, and then next. The username here, remember, is the one that you have for your computer as an administrator, and your password, your administrator password. Next, and here the source name, I'm gonna leave the same name, AdventureWorks DW, and finish. So here I have my connection to the server and my database, and the first part of my connection is done. All right, very good. So the next thing that I need to do is create a view. So, and just like we did it before, right? We're going to do everything here together. So the next step is, what is asking me here to do is to create a web cells view. All right. So we're going to create a view, right click, new data source view. I'm going to put this in the middle. Next. And we're going to create, next. We already have the connection. Here, you can pick whatever you wanted, but to make life easy, I want to use a fact table that tells you about quantity, so you can do aggregated functions or so. So we're going to pick the internet cells, right? So we're going to go and add the internet cells, and then we're going to select add aggregated tables, because I want to know in my diagram which table have a relationship, which dim tables have a relationship to this fact table. So here, so I have sales territory, dim currency, dim product, dim date, customer, and promotion. So it gives me a very good, a lot of data to work here. So we have two fact tables. I'm going to delete the fact internet sales reason. I'm going to go and place it back, and then I'm going to click next. So before you go, you have to have one fact table and 6 dimensions. All right. So let's go and see what can we find out. Here I'm going to call web sales view. So this is going to be our view. And fine. So now that I created a view, here is our view. Actually, you can see how the tables are related to each other. Here, see? So you have the fact table here, and you have the dimensions, the dates, the customer. So you can have your customer here. You can find uh, marital status of your customer, the gender. So who are the customers that have the relationship to sales, meaning how is their behavior. So you can see related to their gender, to the marital status, to single people buy more, married people buy more, and so on. So I'm going to go, and now that we created a view, we're going to go and create a cube. It's perfect. So it's done. So we're going to go here in the cube. We're going to right click and add a new cube. Again, you can close this up. You can leave it open. It's up to you. So here I'm going to use existing tables. Next. Here I'm going to say suggest. So I want to suggest to me. So it's giving me, is asking. So when you do that, what that means. And if you can read here, it says measure group table. So it's suggesting me what can I measure in this diagram here. Which one is the table that I can measure things? So when I click suggest, it's telling me the fact internet cells holds data that can be measured. All right, so we're gonna go next. I'm gonna take the revision number out. So what can I measure here? I can measure the quantity, the price, the amount, the discount amount, the cost, the product, the total product cost, the sales, the tax, the effect, internet sales discount. All right, so we're going to say next and next. This is all the dimensions that we're going to use. And here I'm going to call sales internet cube. Perfect. So I can click finish. I can click finish. So this is our cube, right? The yellow one is is our measuring group, and the other are all the dimensions. All right, great. I actually gonna go and close both of them and go to my third part. So here I have everything closed. Now I'm gonna add each table separate manually. So I'm gonna go and to deploy and we're gonna deploy the cube. So actually we created the cube, but we have not actually deployed the cube. So what we're gonna do, one second, I'm looking at my instructions here and querying the multi-dimension. So we're gonna prepare the cube so we can query. So first you want to specify that all the dimension attributes need to be included in the deployment. So now which dimensions do you want to add to the measurement, right? How much I sold of customers, so you want to add here the dimensions to your deployment, to that measuring group. So we're going to go and double click here in the cube, cancel. There you go. So now I'm going to go and select first promotion. So I'm going to go and add my dimensions manually. All right. So I'm going to go open this. I'm going to add my dimensions to the measuring group. Okay. So here I'm going to go. That's very important because I saw people doing this mistake. We have something called promotion key. Let's go see the attributes. The promotion key is already there. So I just gonna go drag and drop. I did not copy the promotion key because it's already there, right? So before I move to my next dimension, I'm gonna make sure that where I close it, so it prompts me with this message, and I'm gonna save it before I move forward. What I need is to measure my sales against promotion, date, customer, and product. Actually, I'm not going to use sales territory, and I'm not going to use currency. So let's go to date. The date is something that is very interesting to know. Okay, so I'm going to just select that, hold shift, select the last one, and I'm copying everything but the key. Once again, I'm going to close it, I'm going to save it, and move forward to the customer. There you go. Once again, geography key, hold shift, select everything, and drag. Perfect. So I'm going to go and close, save, and move forward to the last one, that is the product. All right. So that's it there. So I'm going to go alternative, and then I'm going to scroll down all the way to the status, and I'm going to drag and drop. All right, perfect. There is one problem. Before we close the product, I have one attribute in this table, this data, excuse me, that has an underlying squiggly red line because the photo is not there. So that's going to cause a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, right click, and delete. So I said yes, we're going to delete the photo. So once I delete it, I don't have any other errors. I'm going to go close and save. Perfect. So now that I have add all my dimensions, right? Everything seems to be okay so far. Before I move forward, I'm just going to double check something. So here is my web cells. I'm going to right click in my project, select properties, and I'm going to go just to double check in the deployment. And when I check the deployment on the server for this project, I see localhost. So it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is, to make my life easy, I'm going to go back to MS SQL Server 2012 again. I'm going to just open SQL Managed Studio. I'm going to copy the name of my server here. Copy. I'm just going to cancel that and close it. And instead of localhost, I'm going to make sure that my server is right there. Can I open this up more? Ah, okay. I was trying to properties, localhost. That's what I'm trying to open this window a little more, but it doesn't allow me. All right, I wanted to show you I cannot open. Okay, so I'm going to just paste my server there. And I'm going to click OK. So now I have my server in my project already had the server. I add the server name, and I'm going to go here to my this says process. You can do that way, or you can let's say use the deploy here. So I'm going to go and use this three little arrows, green arrows here. Server contents appears to be out there. Don't worry about it. Just click yes. And now it's actually going to deploy the cube. Cube says run. Excuse me. So it's running all the tables, and if everything is correct, if you really follow a step by step, took your time to do this, this should be process successful. So no errors. We're going to just close and close. So everything was deployed successfully. So now how I know that work? So I'm going to go here again to my MS SQL Server 2012, right? Right here. And then to my SQL Server Managed Studio, I'm going to right click and open this, run as an administrator. So now I'm running my server, my database as an administrator. If you don't run as an administrator, it's not going to work, all right? So here it is. I'm running as an administrator. Actually, I'm going to minimize this so you can see. I'm not going to use the database. Actually, I'm going to use the analysis services. Yes, and I'm going to connect. It is only going to work if you run this as an administrator. If you don't run it as administrator, it's not going to connect. All right, so I went here. I have my databases, and then I have my web cells cube. Cool. So I go cubes. What's up? Measuring groups, and that's the internet cells. And you create reports, standard reports. And you're not going to see nothing really. We're going to do the reports now. So that is your cube has been successfully processed and launched. Okay, so let's go to the next part of our the last part of our SSIS reporting, querying. So querying a multi-dimensional cube. So now we're going to go to the step in which one we have the cube already, and now we want to create reports. We want to create charts. We want to create rows and columns and so forth. So if you go here to your website says on Excel, create a report for total product cost, unit price, sales amount, and customers by gender and marital status. Okay, use pivot charts. So I'm going to go here and open Excel for me. I'm going to select the empty, right here, the empty thing. The first thing I'm going to do is I had to import that data to Excel. So I'm going to go to data. And here I'm going to go to get data. And let's see, another from database, from analysis services, server name. And here we're going to put, do I have, there you go. That's my server name. You're going to go to your database and put your server name. Next. Here, I already have, so I need my web cells. That's what I want. I'm going to select that. So please make sure that you look here. Your not your older project, but your new project web cells. Perfect. So next. Go next. Did we did that? Yes. We select that. Next. Next. Web cells cube. Next. Finish. Finish. Pivot table report. That's what we're looking at. Sorry, I got a little stuff in my head. So finish. Pivot table report. We're going to say okay. And there you go. So now you have the data. You have your data. And we're going to select for this data. That's it. In the fact tables, I'm going to select total product cost. Let's see. The first one, total product cost. How the unit price and sales amount. So that's what I want in the fact table for measuring. Now we're going to compare against the customer. All right. So for rows here, we're going to select customer, gender, that we have gender, customer, I don't see it, birthday, gender. For row gender, perfect. And then gender and let's see, just gender? I thought there was gender and marital status. I think it was two, gender and here, this one. Okay, but I want them also to be columns and columns. Just the gender. There you go. Now, I need to add the product. I wanted to select color. So there you go. So now you have the gender. I decided you can put it in a row or you can put in a column, right? So that's the values that are going to be measured and against that customer meta status and gender, and the product color. All right, perfect. Now, to finish this, we're going to insert a pivot chart. So let's find out where is the pivot chart. Uh, Table name. Where is the pivot chart? Pivot chart. There you go. And now I had added by columns, and I said by rows. That's by rows. This is by column, and you can change it as you wish. And now you can actually see the data. Can you make this bigger now? There you go. There you go. So that's your chart. There you go. I'm gonna put it here. There you go. So here that gives you the product cost, the unit price, the sales amount related to the color of the product, and the sales for female and male, like gender, and the gender values. Can we filter? Okay, can filter Z2A and change to Z2. Okay, you can play around with this. It's very interesting. So um, you're done. So you have now your data. You can actually analyze and tell me the behavior of your data based on the measurements in your fact table and against the dimensions of product customer. All right, the product color and the customer's matter status and gender. All right, I hope this was helpful and let's see. I hope you have you do this successfully. And if you have any questions, you can always email me and I can go through step by step if you need it. But I think this is really straightforward. Okay, see you in class.